So good day, everyone. We are now progressing now with our topic, but still it is under the chemical reaction. So here is part 4 now of the chemical reaction. So these are the different types of chemical reaction. The first one is direct combination reaction. Second one, decomposition reaction. Isa-isahin natin ito later. Single replacement reaction. And the fourth one, double replacement reaction. And the last one is combustion reaction. The first one is direct combination reaction. It is also referred to as synthesis reaction. The word synthesis means the production of chemical compounds by reaction from simpler materials. So for example, you have, this is just an example. You have a sugar and a coffee, and the resulting product is a tasty coffee. No? So parang ganon. So from simple materials, no, we turn it into a tasty coffee. So it is a chemical change in which two or more substances react to form a single new substance. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, no? A combination of the two. The product is a compound always, no? Since our reactants are mostly single element. So single element plus single element, we're gonna have a product of a compound. This reaction has already occurred if on the reactant side there are two or more substances, while there is only one product on the product side. So this is the manifestation or the indication na it has already occurred if the positioning or the amount of reactant is 2, and on the product side naman is only 1, and it is a compound. So ang general equation niya is A plus B, no, which is our reactant, and ang product naman natin AB. So carbon in charcoal, no, for example, burn in air produces carbon dioxide. So our reactants, no, are carbon and O2. And the chemical reactants carbon and oxygen combine to form carbon dioxide. So this is an example of a direct combination reaction. The next example is burning of magnesium. So of course, when you burn magnesium, there is always a presence of oxygen, no? And the resulting product, no, is magnesium oxide or MgO. Okay, so again, this is an example of direct combination reaction since we have two reactants, no, which is the magnesium and oxygen, and the resulting product naman natin is a compound which is the magnesium oxide. So there are other examples of direct combination reaction. So of course, letter A, reaction between two or more elements. So an example of this type of combination reaction is the reaction between a metal and a non-metal. So most metals react with non-metals to form ionic compounds. If you can still remember our previous discussion, that if on the periodic table, metal and non-metal combined, no, it is an ionic compound. So we have there a sodium, chlorine, no, and it's of course its product, no, is sodium chloride. So again, this is an example of direct combination reaction. Okay, another one, non-metals may react highly with other non-metals to form covalent compounds na naman. An example is the reaction of sulfur with oxygen gas to form gaseous sulfur oxide. Letter B, reaction naman between elements and compounds. An element in a compound may react to form another compound. For example, carbon monoxide reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Okay, so carbon monoxide plus 2 carbon monoxide plus O2 is equal to 2 carbon dioxide. So as you can see, still it is an example of a direct combination reaction, since it has a specific compound and another element, and then the resulting product is still a compound. So pwede ito pwede siya na compound yung isa, loner na element yung isa, and it will result with a compound. Pwede ito siya. Letter C, reaction naman between two compounds. So two compounds can react with each other to form a new compound. For example, calcium oxide. Okay, so it is a compound. It reacts with carbon dioxide gas, and the resulting product is calcium carbonate. Okay, so this is the picture. Okay, so the second type of chemical reaction is the decomposition reaction. So it is also called analysis. So when we analyze, we break things down into pieces in order for us to analyze that specific material. So take note, it is the opposite of direct combination reaction, wherein one single compound breaks down into two or more simpler substances. So if you can still remember, in the direct combination reaction, we have two separate reactants, and the resulting product is a compound. So this time around, according to this description, we have a single compound, and it will be broken down into two or more simpler substances. So the products can be two or more elements or new compounds. So most decomposition reactions require energy in the form of heat, light, or electricity. So without these three, this decomposition reaction cannot occur. We have to spend some energy in order for us to break down any material. So here is the equation for the decomposition reaction. AB, which is our reactant, a compound, and our products are A plus B. Okay, so kung maghahatiin siya into two or more. Water is decomposed into its elemental components. So we have here two molecules of water and as our reactant, and our products are two hydrogen and an oxygen. To break water into hydrogen and oxygen, it needs high amount of energy which cannot be supplied by the simple heating of water. When you boil a water, it's just turned into gas, but we cannot really separate the hydrogen and oxygen. So the process in order for us to separate the hydrogen and oxygen is called electrolysis. It is a chemical process which uses electricity in breaking up the compound into its component. So again, yes, this is our equation, but take note, on the arrow na part, it needs electricity. So without it, it cannot be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. So in the next slide, I'll be showing you what happened in the electrolysis of water. Before I proceed, so the electrolysis, 2 moles of liquid water yield 2 moles of hydrogen gas and 1 mole of oxygen gas. So ito na yung ating video. Charges attract each other while like charges repel each other. So as a result, during electrolysis, the negative part, that is oxygen, is attracted towards the positive electrode, or For example, the anode, while the positive part naman, that is hydrogen, is attracted towards the negative electrode or the cathode. So again, there's water, and we have cathode and anode there. So negative natin na part, no, is of course attracted, no, to the anode. Yung positive naman natin na part, no, is attracted to the cathode. So, same with the recombination reaction. So there is a big possibility that the products are compound. Okay. So we have here, no, our limestone. No, it will result with a quicklime and a carbon dioxide. Of course, in order for us to do that, we have to have a presence of heat, no, or fire. So yeah, so this is how they do this. So we have a limestone here, ninalight ito nila, no, and then the resulting product is a quicklime, and you can see a manifestation of carbon dioxide through bubbles. So dito naman na slide. So another example of decomposition reaction na is we have here our potassium chlorate, and in the presence of heat will decompose into potassium chloride and oxygen gas. But of course, we have to know its balance equation in order for us to know how many molecules will it produce. So here, balancing equation na naman tayo. So on the reactant na side, so we have potassium, chlorine, and oxygen. So as what you can see, based sa third natin, part 3 natin sa chemical reaction, first thing na gagawin natin is to list down muna the number of atoms of each element. So for potassium, so we have 1, chlorine 1, oxygen naman is 3. On the product naman na side, ang potassium natin is 1, chlorine is also 1, and oxygen is 2. So as what you notice, chlorine and potassium is already balanced. So we don't need to really focus muna on that two elements. We have to focus on oxygen na part. So as what you notice, the oxygen, 3 and 2. So with this case, no, we cannot really simply decide whatever number we have to put, no, sa ating equation. We have to find first its least common multiple. So 3, no, and 2, ang least common multiple nila is 6. So we should achieve 6, no? So this is our goal. So in order for us to make our oxygen 6, we have to multiply it by yung 3 natin dito, no, i-multiply natin sa ilan? Sa 2. Okay, so 2 times 3, yes, 6. But in here, 2 ang meron tayo. So saan natin i-multiply ang 2 in order for us to achieve 6? So we'll multiply it with 3. So oxygen is balanced now. But take note, on the reactant side, potassium and chlorine, no, is affected with this coefficient na 2 nandito. So 2 times 1, no, potassium natin will become 2. Ang chlorine naman natin magiging 2. So on the product side, if you look at it, ang potassium and chlorine natin is still 1. So what should we do? We have to put something, a number here, in order for us to multiply it with their number of atoms or their subscript, in order for us to achieve a balanced equation. So since 2, no, ang potassium natin sa kabila, we have to put 2 as well here. Okay? So potassium will become 2 and chlorine will become 2, and that would give us a balanced potassium as well as chlorine. So this is our balance equation for potassium chlorate that is heated and decomposed into potassium chloride and oxygen gas. The third type of chemical reaction, the single replacement reaction. So when one element replaces another element in a compound, a single replacement, also known as displacement reaction, takes place. When this happens, a new compound and a new element are formed. So a single replacement reaction only takes place if a more reactive element replaces a less reactive one. So on the right side of the presentation, what you are seeing here is the metal activity series. Okay, so this is a metal activity series wherein this will somehow explain how single replacement reaction occur. Metal activity series, which has been developed through experiments, is a ranking of relative reactivity of the metals. Ang topmost is the reactive, so meaning on our list right here, potassium is the most reactive. And ang bottom naman natin is the least na reactive. Take note, again, a single replacement reaction only takes place if a more reactive element replaces a less reactive one. So, here, so ito yung kanyang equation. A plus BC, the resulting product is B plus AC. So, this happens when element B in the compound has a weaker chemical bond with other element C, and the free element A has a stronger capacity to bond with that of element C. So, ang ginamit ng description na to is we have our B here, which is considered weaker daw. So, for example, they are partners, B and C. Since this is weaker, so meaning nasa baba siya, nandito siya, less reactive siya. And yung kabilang element, o yung katabing element, is much stronger. So, maybe dito siya sa taas banda compared to B na nandito sa baba. There's a possibility na papalitan niya. So, di ba, ganun naman talaga ang life. If you're weak, you'll be replaced by a much stronger one. But not all the time. Okay? Okay. So, for example, so you have our sodium here. So, if you look at sodium, it's on the rank 2 of the most reactive na element. And on the other hand, we have hydrogen and oxygen. So, hydrogen is here. Okay. So, nandito yung hydrogen natin. So, sino ba ang mas reactive? Hydrogen or sodium? So, on this case, much stronger ang ating sodium or much reactive yung ating sodium compared kay hydrogen. So, on the product side, notice, compare, this reactant side and the product side, it will be transferred, onto the other side. Okay? Notice it. Okay. And then, yung hydrogen naman natin will turn into the lonely na side. Take note, once hydrogen or oxygen is paired with sodium, it will always have a hydrogen, OH siya, magiging hydroxide na siya. So, this is the reason why bakit may H sa kabilang dulo. Okay? So, if the reactants are H2 and NaOH, there will be no reaction, So, imagine H2 hydrogen here, and NaOH, there will be no reaction since, as what you notice, separated na si hydrogen. And we cannot break this bond, no, the sodium and hydroxide, no, we cannot break it since sodium is much more reactive compared to hydrogen. Ito naman, silver and copper nitrate. Okay, so we're gonna look at the silver here and the copper. So silver is nandito siya sa baba, but si copper is much higher compared to silver. Look, merong mercury sa middle nila. So, there will be no reaction since silver is nasa baba ng copper. Okay, I hope you got the point, no? So, any metal listed in the series can replace any metal below it. So, this is the rule. So, using the activity series, you can practice, no? So, I want you to, what do you call this? I want you to write this, no, on a 1/4 sheet of paper as your assignment, no? I want you to write this in a 1/4 sheet of paper. So I want you to decide if number 1, can it be considered a single replacement? No, you write the right equation. Number 2, no reaction ba siya or single replacement? You still write the right equation. And 3, 4, 5. Okay. The fourth type of chemical reaction is the double replacement reaction. It is also called double displacement reaction. So the chemical change where there is an exchange of positive ions between two compounds. So this type of reaction generally takes place in aqueous solution and often produces a precipitate. So here is its, what do you call this? Equation. AC plus BD, no? The resulting product is AD plus BC. Okay? So one example here is sodium bicarbonate and water reaction. Okay? And the resulting product naman is sodium hydroxide and carbonic acid, no, still an aqueous solution. So the cation sodium, no, cation sodium and the hydrogen change place and associated with the other anions, the OH, no, and the HCO3. Okay, so kumbaga again, there is an exchange of positive ions between two compounds. So as what you notice, no, it changes its what do you call this, position. Again, sodium, no, and hydrogen ion, which are our positively charged non-elements, no, change places and associated with the other anions, no, which is the OH and the HCO3. So, another example of double replacement reaction is when an aqueous solution of sodium chloride and silver nitrate, when they are combined, they form a precipitate of silver chloride with sodium nitrate. So, when I say precipitate, these are solid, insoluble particle that separate from a liquid solution during a chemical reaction. So, if we boil some water with a specific chemical and the resulting product is somehow solid or powderized, so that's what we call the precipitate. So step 1, write the chemical formula of the reactants and products. So again, we have an aqueous solution of sodium chloride and silver nitrate. Okay, and our products are silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Yeah. Next, make sure the equation is balanced. So, sa kabila, we have sodium 1, chlorine is 1, silver is 1, nitrogen is 1, oxygen is 3. So, it is balanced. So, we have to include the physical states of the substance in writing the equation. So, aqueous, and of course, ang ating silver chloride is kumbaga, yan, meron siyang symbol na pababa na arrow or a solid. So, this symbol means it is a precipitate of the solution. Okay? So, yan. The fifth one is combustion reaction. In a combustion reaction, a substance reacts with oxygen and releases energy in the form of heat and light. Okay? So, combustion. So, sunog, no? Fire, heat. So, the combination reaction between magnesium and oxygen can be classified also as combustion reaction. So, it can also be classified as combustion reaction. So, we have, yung example kanina, so two magnesium molecules and O2 will result to two molecules of magnesium oxide. The reaction of hydrogen gas and oxygen gas is another example of combustion reaction. So, yan. So, if you notice, as long as there's a presence of oxygen or the O2, it is somehow considered or also considered a combustion reaction. A gas stove that is used to cook food uses liquefied petroleum gas or the LPG. So, kaway-kaway sa mga LPG yung gamit as fuel na. LPG contains a high concentration of propane or C3H8. So, yan yung kanyang compound na involved na compound with some amount of other hydrocarbons. When it burns, of course, there should be a presence of oxygen. It undergoes a combustion reaction that combines propane with oxygen from the air. So we have here our propane and 5 molecules of oxygen, and we're gonna get the product of 3 molecules of carbon dioxide, 4 molecules of water vapor, and a heat. So this is an example of combustion reaction. In cooking naman, the most important product of combustion is heat, which is why it is included in the equation, on the previous slide. So iron undergoes combustion when it reacts with oxygen. So take note again, emphasizing lang na hindi necessary heat talaga yung kumbaga involved, as long as there is an oxygen, so we can call it the combustion reaction. So the chemical name of rust is iron trioxide or ferric oxide or Fe2O3. Sa naming sana ito ng ionic compounds, but hindi natin na-emphasize. So 4 molecules of iron plus 3 molecules of oxygen will result to ferric oxide, which is our rust. So again, emphasizing lang na if we have oxygen, it will always be an indication of a combustion reaction. So under the naming of under the combustion reaction, so meron tayong part na naming of the equation. Okay? So write the word equation for the following reaction. So I'll be what do you call this? I'll be answering the first two na question, and I'll give 3, 4, and 5 as your assignment number 3. So, you have to watch, no, the videos kasi merong mga pa-surprise, no, na mga assignments. Okay. So, the first one. So, we have our KOH plus HCl, no? The resulting product is H2O plus KCl. So, how will we write this in Word? Okay? So, of course, we have to look at the elements involved. So, we have on our first reactant, no, KOH. So, it is potassium hydroxide. Take note, O and H, if magkasama yun sila, they are called hydroxide. The second reactant naman, this one, is what? Hydrogen chloride, or its common name is hydrochloric acid. But you can just use hydrogen chloride. Okay? And the resulting product, no, is water. No, let's use water na lang, no? Hindi na hindi na yung kanyang name talaga. Water na lang since this is common. And KCl naman is potassium chloride. So, in order for us to write it in words, so potassium hydroxide and hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid combined to produce potassium chloride and water, or water and potassium chloride. So, ganun lang siya. Another one. So, number 2, take note, we have oxygen here. Again, if there's an O2, it is a combustion reaction. So, we can use that on our word equation. So, the combustion of molecules of phosphorus, okay, we can actually emphasize 4 phosphorus and 3 molecules of oxygen gas produces 2 phosphorus trioxide, diphosphorus trioxide. Okay? So, ganyan lang siya. So, again, I want you to write, no, in a 1/4 sheet of paper, 3, 4, and 5 for your assignment 3. Okay, I hope you got that. No? So, mahuli ko talaga kung hindi nanood ng video, no? Kasi hindi malaman yung mga assignments. Okay, so again, this is assignment number 3.